Hi everyone, Miss Lamb here. Today we are going to learn how to assemble, which means put together our saxophone and take it apart when we are done playing. The first thing you want to do is put your saxophone on the floor, whether at home or at school. Just make sure it's not like on your bed or on a table or anything like that, because if it does fall, it could do damage to the instrument. So just make sure it's on the ground. For today's video, I'm going to be putting it on a table so that I'm not filming on the floor and you can actually see what I'm doing. But just make sure at school and home it's on the ground. Now, everybody's saxophone got one of these stickers. It says up. This shows you that when it's facing upwards, it's going the right direction. Some of the latches open downwards, some open up, but this facing up means that your case is going in the correct direction. So once the sticker's up, we are going to unlatch it and open the cover. So it's kind of tricky to see in here. We have a couple different parts on the saxophone, but overall this one's pretty easy to put together. The biggest section we have is the body, and notice I'm holding it at a part without a ton of these metal keys because the keys are very fragile and they're perfectly aligned to get the instrument to play well. So we just want to make sure that we're not touching them as much as possible, and these rods right here too, because it's all just a very fragile mechanism. So grip it by the bell, this part right here, it'll be your safest spot. Okay, so the bell is where the sound comes out. We have this hook right here that your hand's going to go in, as well as this part with the neck screw right here. This is where the neck goes into, which I will show you in a second. Here's the neck. So this side goes into the top of the body that I just showed. And then this cork is where the final piece, the mouthpiece, goes onto. And I made a separate video showing you exactly, because there's a couple more parts that go onto this mouthpiece for how to do that. So for today's video, we're just going to be putting on just the mouthpiece. Okay, before we start assembling the instrument, we do need to put on a neck strap. This takes some of the weight of the saxophone because it's got a lot of weight, and it would be a little bit too much to take all of that on with just your fingers and your arms. So you're going to put the neck strap behind your head, and then all of them operate a little bit differently, but the main idea is that you're taking the buckle, whatever it may look like, this one happens to be circular, and in order to change the length of it, if you pull it closer to you, like to your face, it gets smaller, and if you move it away, it gets larger. So you're just gonna you'll get used to what works for you, but just pick a spot to put it on for now. And the bottom is this little hook right here. That is what the saxophone's actually gonna attach to. Okay, so once that's on, you are going to take the body of the instrument, again, gripping it by the bell, and set it in your lap. We are going to take this hook right here, or a clip. A lot of them actually close, which is nicer. So you're going to take that and then hook it into this circle right here. It's about halfway, I'd say, up the saxophone. Okay. So once that's on, especially if it clips, like that's a good security in case you're doing something else and it loosens, you know it's at least like connected to you. So the next thing we're going to do, this is the back of the saxophone, and right now the bell is facing outwards. We're going to take our neck and grip it again, trying to avoid this key right here. So the neck is going to go into this piece. If this screw is extremely tight and you can't get this piece in, just loosen it a little bit, and that will allow it to go in. You don't want any resistance happening. If you do get resistance and it's like you've unscrewed it all the way and it's as loose as it can get, please let me know and I'll put some lubricant on it, because it definitely should go in easily. So you're gonna put this down and make sure that while you're putting it down, it's a little bit tricky to see, this part goes over the rod that's there sticking up, and it'll be easier to see on your own saxophone, but this needs to go over it because it needs to be able to have a range of motion. So just make sure that it's not underneath what this rod sticking up. Okay, once that's on, you can align it by there's a little brace under the neck, and you want that to make a straight alignment with this key here. So it kind of makes one easy thing, and I'll point this out in lessons too. It'll be a little bit easier to see. Once it is aligned, you can tighten the neck screw. Don't go crazy with the amount of tightening that you're doing, but you also don't want it so loose that the neck is swinging around on you. Okay, once that's in place, you are going to take the mouthpiece and you are going to just put it on so that that brace that we lined it up with underneath the neck is also aligned, if you can see, with this opening on the mouthpiece. So I'll put it on and then show you what that alignment would look like. So it's going to be opening to neck brace to that key. Okay, and it'll be easier to see in your lessons. That's a starting point for the mouthpiece. When we actually go to play it, and I'll show you the playing position and the hand position later on, we will be making adjustments to this because this does need to twist. But to start out, we're gonna put it there, and then when we go to actually play it, once we've put the other pieces that we need on the mouthpiece, we'll twist it into alignment. Now, we assemble it kind of from bottom to top. So to take it apart, we actually go from top to bottom. So the first thing we're going to do is twist off the mouthpiece and put that in the case. We will be swabbing, so getting all of the moisture out, but there's another video on how to do that. I'm not going to do that in this video, but just so that's on your radar. The next thing you're going to do is loosen that neck screw and take out the neck. And again, these should twist out pretty easily. If you have a lot of resistance, let me know and we can put something on there. And you're gonna put the neck in the case. Then you are going to unclip from here the body of the instrument and put that away. And you know this is going correctly in here when you can see these keys. So all of the keys need to be on top for it to be in correctly. And then the last thing you're gonna do is loosen up the neck strap all the way and put that right in the case and latch it up. And you are all set on how to put together and take apart your saxophone. I'll see you in lessons. Bye.